Hannah, when are you going to be quitting that job of yours? What's that? Hello, Sandy. Why are you asking me when I'll quit my job? I'm sure you're just working that job so that you have enough money to spend all you want on fancy things, right? Not really. I'm just working because I want to save money for the future, and I also happen to really like the kind of work I do. But it's not okay for a woman like you to be working, so quit that job at once. It's not okay for a woman like me? Right now is the best time for my husband and I to both be working at the same time. I'm not saying that I don't want to become a housewife at some point, but Robin and I both talked about this before we got married, and we decided it would be best that we both work full-time jobs so that we have enough money for the future. That's why at this point in time, it's not an option for me to be quitting my job. Hannah, listen to me. The way you're speaking to me right there is really showing me how self-centered you really are deep down. Self-centered? Do you have a problem with the money your husband is making, and that's why you're choosing to work still? I never said I had any issues with his income. Well, then please quit that job. Quit that job right now and become his housewife. I cannot do that right now. If you go against my word here, you are making yourself look worse and worse. So you're telling me the only way to look good as Robin's wife is to become a housewife? That's right. Now stop asking me questions to the obvious. By the way, have you talked with Robin himself about how you view me working this job? I don't have to go and talk with him about it because he already knows. That young man came from a house where his mother was a housewife and took care of the home, so he knows exactly what I want out of his wife, and he expects you to become that way. Right now, he should be thinking about all the things he could be having you do for him as his housewife. I'm sure of that. You think so? Well, no matter what else you have to say to me, I'm going to have a word with Robin before making any decisions. Please allow me some time to talk with him.
Hannah? I just finished up work and I'm on the bus home.
I hope you had a good day today, Robin.
Hey, listen, did you really have a conversation with my mom today about quitting your job?
What?
When I had a look at my phone after work, I saw that my mom had texted me saying that she spoke to you about it.
Wait. We did talk about it, but it was a one-sided conversation with her just telling me over and over to quit my job. I was trying to get her to understand that you and I both agreed to work, but she just wouldn't have it. So in the end, I said to her that I'd have to speak with you before making any final decisions.
What the heck? So that's what happened there. She was making it seem as though you were going to quit your job and there was no changing your mind about it. And that led me to wondering about what had happened that made you change your mind about everything so suddenly.
Sorry if this got you all worked up in any way. I had started to talk with your mom while I was on break at work, but I couldn't speak with her for very long because it was towards the end of my break. So I was going to have a word with you at home first and then get back in touch again with her to talk.
But why did my mom end up sending me this text making it sound as though you're going to quit?
Because your mom seems to think that you want the same thing as her, that being me quitting my job and becoming your housewife.
What?
When she said that to me, I told her that I'd have to talk with you first before deciding what to do next. She must be expecting you to think the same thing as her and say no to me working a job any longer, and that's why she made it seem as though I already was going to quit. Understand?
Yeah, I understand, but I can't believe this. Can you show me those texts from her later on? If it seems things aren't going to get any better, I'm going to have to get my dad involved and have him take care of my mom.
Do you feel as though your mom is more serious about this than I thought?
That depends on what she's said to you. If I have the chance, I want my dad to take a look at those texts from her as well.
Your dad as well?
Recently, my dad has seemed pretty worried about something. I still haven't really talked with him about anything, but the last time I was over at my parents' house, he had this expression on his face like he had something he wanted to tell me.
I see. I'll have all these messages from her printed out so that you can take them over to your dad.
Thank you, Hannah. That would help me out a lot. Hannah? I had a talk with my dad.
Hey, Robin. How did that talk go?
This is what my dad had to say about the whole you and I both working jobs while being husband and wife thing. He says that the only reason why my mom would be so against it is because when she married my dad, she was very young and never had a chance to start working. She kind of forced his hand in letting her become a housewife, but that was only possible because he received a promotion around that time and made decent money. Had my dad been closer to my mom's age when getting married, she most definitely would have been working a job as well.
Now that you mention it, your mom never really worked anywhere before she became a housewife, right?
That's what it sounds like. I've even heard that she never worked a part-time job before.
I see. I have something to say, by the way. I'm not saying I want to quit my job or anything, but I've thought of something.
And that is?
It's about how I work from here on out.
You're bringing back up what you and I talked about a while back.
So you remember that then?
Well, of course I do. I think what you have in mind is totally fine. Things have only become more stable since then, and since that's something you've always had on your mind, I think this is the perfect time for it.
Thank you, Robin.
Anyway, my dad thinks Mom is very serious about having you quit your job and become a housewife. When I get home later, we can talk more about that in detail. I'll make sure to be home when you get home from work.
All right, sounds good. Hannah, have you still not quit your job yet? What? This is about what we had talked about 2 weeks ago. Didn't you say you were going to talk with Robin about it? He thinks the exact same thing as I do on this subject, and that means he should have told you that if you don't quit your job soon, he's going to divorce you. You really think so? Well, I wouldn't want to be divorced, so I'm going to go ahead and quit my company job. Good. Oh, thank you for going ahead and doing that. And from now on, don't you ever go against my word again. But consider this the end of your monthly allowance from us. What? What are you talking about? What allowance?
Mom, allow me to explain this monthly allowance that had just been brought up to you.
Robin, tell me right now what Hannah was talking about.
A little while ago, I was talking with Dad when he told me that things were not going too well at your guys' house, and he asked for our help. So, myself and Hannah decided that starting this month, we'd be sending him $700 a month in order to help out with your guys' financial situation there.
I never heard about any of that.
Dad told me he talked with you about it, but you kept dozing off and acting like he wasn't being serious.
But why? Why would he need...
Because you and all your terrible spending habits have been destroying all the money Dad has worked tirelessly to save up.
What?
Dad had said that his package from the company he'd been with was pretty large, and that he also would be getting retirement funds every year thereafter. And yes, I understand that he was making a decent living in that company, and at the time he was working, he could afford to deal with your spending. But now that he's retired, there isn't that constant flow of money anymore, and all he has are his savings and his retirement. Yet you never listened to him when he spoke to you about cutting back on spending all his money, and now things have gotten worse. Dad had come to us with great shame because he felt embarrassed to be asking his son and his son's wife for financial help.
But he should still have a lot of other money in his retirement funds.
And that was all money he wanted to keep around until you guys both became really old and needed the money for medical bills and such. But ever since he retired from his job, he's watched as that money slowly started to drain away at your hands.
What?
Dad had showed me all of his accounts and the transaction history for all of them. And from what I could tell, the credit card transactions were quite frequent and taking more out of his accounts than he had. When you think about the kind of money one would want as they're in the later stages of their life, what remains in there is too small of an amount.
Oh, there's no way.
To be honest, I think Dad has been too kind to you. If he'd really wanted to stop you from spending all that money, he could have shut off all your credit cards or asked the bank to change his PIN number. There were plenty of things he could have done to stop you, but he didn't do anything and had to come out to his son and son's wife to ask for help. That's why I went ahead and told him. I went ahead and told him that he needed to get a grip on his wife because there should be no reason you're telling my wife not to work a job when it's her job that's giving you guys money. With just my income alone, Hannah and I would be living on the edge, just barely having enough to play with. But if I had to start sending you guys $700 as well, I wouldn't be able to support myself and Hannah anymore. And I'm not kidding when I say that either, because we wouldn't only not be able to save any money on my income then, but we literally would not be able to buy food or pay all the house's bills. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mom? Because I had to go and tell Dad that already.
What?
When I said that to him, he was shocked. He had no idea that you were trying to get Hannah to quit her job that badly. Then I went and showed him all the messages you were sending to Hannah a while back.
What? You went and showed him all those messages?
Yes, and even the messages you were sending her just a second ago.
Wait, does that mean he's with you right now?
Yup. And now that he's seen so much of what you've done, he's finally come around to understanding just how badly he's spoiled you. And that's why he's telling me right now that we don't have to send an allowance after all.
What?
Therefore, if you don't stop those bad spending habits of yours, there will be hell to pay. And Dad most definitely will not be helping you there.
Hell to pay?
You should understand more than anyone what I mean by that. All I have left to say is that you'd better start thinking about a way to stop those bad habits of yours, or else...
My bad habits?
That's right. I don't want you whining to Hannah or myself later about her not leaving her job like you'd been asking. So I'll let you know this now. Hannah really has gone and quit her company job.
What?
But that doesn't mean she'll be coming home to be my housewife. Hannah had been trying to run her own side hustle for a while now, but wasn't making a whole lot of money off it, and so she had to keep with her company job. But since it's been a while now and she's saved up a lot of money from her company job, she can now leave that job and work full-time doing the side hustle.
She had a side hustle? How much is she making now?
Ever since she started to go big with that side hustle, she's been making more than me.
What was that? She's making more than her own husband.
Are you aware now why her and I decided that we'd both continue to work even after getting married?
Are you really okay with her making more than you? Do you know what others will start to say about you when they hear that you have to have your wife working as well and making more than you to live?
I'm not sure where you've been getting your news from, Mom, but in this day and age, it's normal for married couples to both be working. I think you should be ridiculed more than anything else for saying something like that.
But...
Dad is getting ready to head back home now. You'd better be all ears for what he has to say.
Robin! Your father's gone and divorced me!
Right. I heard about that already. He yelled at you saying he'd had enough, right? And I thought you had finally learned your lesson a couple of days ago. You bought 3 neckties online, each costing $1,000?
Yeah, that's right. I was told to fix my bad spending habits, right? So I thought about them for a bit, and that's when I thought to myself, what you all meant is for me to spend a little bit more on your father from now on. So I was thinking something useful, like a necktie.
Something useful like a necktie? Aren't you aware that Dad is retired now and won't really be using things like neckties anymore? Jesus Christ, Mom. That wasn't even what Dad and I meant when we told you to rethink your spending habits.
What? That wasn't what you both meant?
I have no idea what to do with you anymore.
Then what did you both mean?
Dad wanted you to think of all that by yourself with the hopes you'd figure it out. So I'm not going to give you the answer.
Robin!
The divorce has already happened, right? Well then, this is the perfect time for us to cut ties as well.
Why would you want that?
Because I want to protect my wife.
Why do you think I'd be of any danger to her?
There have already been plenty of reasons as to why, so stop asking.
What are you talking about, Robin?
Just think about it. Anyway, goodbye forever.
Robin! My father-in-law took all the credit cards he had given Sandy away from her and was going to watch and see if that helped with her poor spending habits. However, just 2 days after doing so, 3 neckties arrived in the mail that she had ordered online with his saved credit card information. She had all of those credit cards saved to her phone and on all of those online stores and could access them at any time. Realizing that there was really no helping the woman, he went and had her sign the divorce papers before taking them to the courthouse all in the same day. He made sure to contact a moving company to get all of his things from the house and is now living with Robin and I at our place. He told us that he'd have the house sold soon and would use that money, along with whatever he had left in his savings, to move someplace else. But neither Robin or I want him living on his own, so we've told him to sell the house and use the money on things he wants while staying with us. And by the way, when I say that he came to live in our house, he did so without ever telling Sandy anything about what he was doing or where he was going. And so when Sandy tried to go and find him, she was not able to find her answer of where he had moved to. We all still feared that at some point she'd learn his whereabouts, and so we called Sandy's little brother, told him about what all had happened, and the next day he was at her house taking her away to go work for his company. Right now we've been told that she's working a 9 to 5 at her little brother's call center and living at home with him and his wife while crying and whining all the time. She is planning on moving out of there soon, and when that happens, I think even her brother will cut ties to her, putting an end to her reign of terror within our families. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Anna, in 2 days your sister-in-law April will be coming home to relax before she has her baby. What? In 2 days she's coming home? Why are you acting all worried about that? No, I'm not worried. I was just caught off guard because I didn't expect her to be coming home so soon. Also, wasn't she saying at first that she'd be going to her husband's parents' home to relax and wait to have her baby? I know that's what she told Caleb and I. I didn't like the thought of that, so I had a word with her and changed her mind so that she'd be coming back to my house. I was afraid that over at her in-laws' house there was a chance her mother-in-law would start to pick on her. Oh, that wouldn't be good, right? But from what I've been told, April and her mother-in-law are already really close to one another. That may be so, but in order to keep me from worrying about her, she needs to come here and relax. You should never just accept that things are going well with her and her in-laws. The fact that you're so gullible is one of the reasons why I think of you as a child. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, now that you're aware of the new plans, I would like you to start cleaning out your room and preparing it for her to stay in while she's here. What? You want for April to come and use my room? That's right. Then can't she go and stay in the guest bedroom or something? She'll be here for a few months, so it would be much more efficient to have her stay in that room over mine. How dare you say such a thing? Well, to be frank, you're making more trouble for everyone by having her move into my room. Especially me, considering next month my company is going remote, so I have to have my room set up in order to get my work done. I don't care about your work. Right now, this is about my daughter who is coming back here to have her baby. She is a pregnant woman. I don't care about you having your room or not while you're living in this house, so go find another room to work in. Huh? If you're going to be that selfish about your room, I might just have you living outside the house from now on. If things don't change with you, then I'm going to start feeling as though you're trying to harass me or something. I'm not trying to, though. I don't trust you. To be honest, it's pretty normal of you to never listen to anything I ask for. That's the kind of daughter-in-law you've been to me. The reason I'm not always listening is because you always say and ask the most outlandish things. There are times you ask me to come home from my office, which is an hour away, to make you lunch, and you want me home from there in 10 minutes. That's impossible. And do you remember the time I had that sprained ankle and you kept asking me to carry all kinds of heavy things for you? You also had me be the one to pay for a $5,000 lazy boy chair with massaging features for you. You've been putting me through so much crap lately that I'm kind of at the point where I can't listen to you. Whatever your husband's parents say to you, you must do. If you understand that now, then you start doing more for me. The first thing you need to do for me is get that room of yours cleaned out so that my pregnant daughter can start to stay in it. You will be going out into the yard to live now. The yard? There's that old doghouse out there, so that's where you'll be sleeping. Here you go again with this outlandish and impossible stuff. You seriously want me out there sleeping in Spot's old house? I do. He was a very large dog when he was still around, so you should be more than able to fit inside the doghouse and sleep. But even if I don't feel comfortable having you in this house anymore with that bad attitude, so you can go out there and sleep so April can relax. The only reason I'm not kicking you off this property completely is because you'd cause trouble for everyone being homeless in this neighborhood, and the police might come and question me about you. So be thankful that I'm willing to even let you stay in Spot's old house. What the hell? No wonder your kids hate you so much. Excuse me, what was that supposed to mean? I like to think my kids both think of me as their perfect mother. I still have work to get done today, so goodbye. Caleb, have you finished work yet?
Hey, Anna. I just finished up everything I had on the itinerary for today. Are you on your way home from work now as well?
Yep. I'm just relaxing in this bus watching the news.
Well, if you're going to be passing by Lakeview soon, can you get off there so we can meet up?
Oh, thank God. I can do that.
Why do you sound so relieved all of a sudden?
Have you heard the news about your sister coming home in 2 days to relax before having her baby?
What? No, I haven't heard anything about that, actually. Wait, wasn't she saying she'd be going out to her in-laws' place to stay with him for the next couple of months? We all know that my sister wouldn't last a day with my mom's BS. And the stress caused might create issues for the baby even. Right?
I know that. I think your mom is just being delusional again and is trying to make a scene for all of us.
What was she going on about this time?
In order to let her daughter have the most relaxing time in the house, she's wanting me to give up my room and clear it all out.
Huh?
She wants me to live out in the yard while your sister's around and have me go sleep in Spot's old doghouse at night.
Huh?
That's the easiest way I can sum everything up to you.
Hold on a sec. There has to be an end to that old fart's BS.
I'm sorry to say this, but I think the same thing about your mom. Also, I was kind of thinking perhaps your sister is in a bit of a pinch right now or something. We both know that your sister is wanting to stay at her in-laws' house because her and her mother-in-law get along so well, but, well, perhaps your mom is pestering her right now about coming back to her house, and that's caused your sister to give in.
That could be what's happened.
I was thinking we could talk about all of this if we're meeting up in Lakeview soon.
We can do that. And if we need to, we can call April and her husband and see what's going on with them.
All right, I'll be getting to the Lakeview stop here in 10 minutes or so. Let's meet over by that old oak tree out in front of the stop, okay?
Sounds good.
Caleb? Let's both make sure to take the afternoon off from work, and then you and I can get to work on that plan we've made up.
While my mom is out of the house today at whatever arts and crafts class she has, we can take care of business once and for all.
Perfect. I just wanted to say I am shocked that your sister and her husband were already thinking about something like this before you and I could even start.
And I'm even more shocked that my brother-in-law has a license to operate heavy machinery.
That's true. That license is going to come in real handy here, so thank goodness we have him and didn't need to find someone else.
All right. Now, let's just relax a little bit this morning before we have to start going crazy back at the house.
Okay, let's get all of our work done now, and then we can have the whole afternoon off to take care of things. What's this? Anna, I think this is the first time you've ever actually listened to me. You really did a wonderful job cleaning out your whole room for me. Perhaps you are finally coming around to being a good wife for my son and his family. Now I'm not as worried anymore about you trying to harass me or anything. And the best thing from all of this is that April will finally be able to come back to the house and relax alongside me. Does this mean you made it back home now? Yes. I just got home from my arts and crafts class today. You seem to have come home a lot later than normal this time around. I was invited out for dinner with one of my friends from the class, and so I decided to tag along with her. She wanted to celebrate my daughter coming back home to have my grandbaby, so we did just that. Is that so? So? Where are you at right now? I'm in the yard right now. Really? No way, you're actually going to be living out in that yard now? Oh, how funny, Anna. I can't believe you'd even do that. How fun indeed. Well, make sure to do as I've said. Like I was saying, I want you to sleep out in Spot's old doghouse tonight, and for the rest of the time that my daughter is around. Understood. I'm going to bed now. Good night. I can't believe you actually took my jokes seriously. Well, now that I know you're listening to me, I'm going to have even more fun with you. I need to get ready for tomorrow, so I'm getting into the bath, and then afterwards I'm going right to bed. Anna! What the hell is all of this about? I just woke up and was on my way to get breakfast, and as I opened up the cupboard, the only things inside were one bowl and one plate. And when I went to have a look inside Caleb's room, none of his stuff was in there. Oh, what the hell is all of this about? I see. So you've finally come around to realizing what's going on? We were hoping that last night when you went to have dinner, you would notice the big change, but you came home late and went right to bed. We just had to wait until the morning to hear back from you about everything. Sorry for the early morning surprise. I want to know what's going on right now. I wasn't lying about being in the yard last night, by the way. But when I said yard, I meant the yard of this wonderful resort I'm staying at while waiting on things to be moved. Waiting on things to be moved? Caleb and I moved out of there. What did you say? When? When did you both have time to do all of that? Just the other day. 2 days ago, in fact, we decided to make a plan to take care of business for us. And that plan involved us moving all our things out of your house yesterday. At first, we didn't think we could pull everything off in such a short time, but once we thought of all the reasons for why we needed to get out, we were able to make it happen. This is not the time to be talking to me about all of that crap. Ugh, damn it! Oh, this is the day April is finally coming home, and both her brother and sister-in-law are no longer around? April isn't going back home to your house. Huh? Just as she'd said once she made her mind up, she went over to her mother-in-law's house and will be relaxing there for a while. And after that, her husband and her are planning on moving into a brand new house to start living together with her in-laws. Why? I was giving her the chance to finally escape being bullied by her mother-in-law. Scarlett, April has never said anything about her relationship with her mother-in-law being sour. Have you still not noticed that April hates you? Huh? I asked April about how things were around you after your husband, her father, had passed away. And from what she unpacked with me, there was a lot of drama and a lot of bad memories for her. Like the one where you kicked her older sister out of the house and then disowned her. What are you talking about? Apparently it was April's older sister who was able to get you and your husband to get married in the first place. But then after the marriage, she tried to tell her father she had messed up, but he never listened. What is all of this, Anna? Oh, this has nothing to do with what's going on right now. It turns out that April's older sister knew you had some problems, and after you became single again, those problems, the roots to them, began to take hold again. Excuse me, what roots are you talking about? Well, I'm sure things will all settle down once you are left all by yourself for good. What? You don't have to understand what I'm talking about here. And forget about Paws, because we took her with us as well. My cat? Oh, we got Paws years ago because I told everyone that I wanted a cat, and that makes her mine. Well, the issue is, ever since she went from being a kitten and turned into a cat, you stopped caring about her. You really think things would have changed after we moved out? I sure don't think so. Caleb and I were the only two that would feed her and give her any attention. No way! Honestly, you never even knew how to care for a cat, nor even a dog. That's why Spot's gone now, because you never took him out on walks and would only feed him junk. Right now, the only person that Paws wants to be with is the person who cared for her the most. Caleb. She knew something was going on when we were taking everything out of your house, and as we climbed into our car, she hopped in with us. No way!
Mom?
Caleb, finally! Hey, why? Why would you do this to me?
Do I really have to go through and explain all my reasons to you?
What?
I'm sure you can already tell why I'm out of there now. To be honest, I wanted to be out of that house a lot sooner than this. Like years ago, back when I first married Anna. Even before that, actually. After Dad had passed away and things started to really go downhill with you. Well, I've finally taken the chance and I want things between you and I to be finished with. Let me be now.
Let you be?
I was originally going to say all of this to you after April had her baby and was feeling better. But Mom, I cannot be around you anymore. You have made things so hard on everyone, and recently you've been really crossing the line with all of your delusions.
Oh, Caleb, you hold it right there. That inheritance. If you do this to me, then you'll never be getting any money or anything from me.
That's fine with me. I'm sure there isn't much that'll be left behind anyway.
But what about your father's money?
That's all gone now, right? You haven't worked a job in the last 20 years, so all of that money he left is probably long gone, being burnt away by you.
What?
And as for that house you're living in still? It was made mine in Dad's will. My name's been on it this whole time.
What? Are you kidding me, Caleb?
And I plan to have that house sold soon, which means you need to be out of there soon, and can't stop thinking about April or I being your kids now. Luckily, you've already started thinking about Kelsey. Bye now.
From what it sounds like, Scarlett had never been the most amazing person for anyone to be around. And when she was younger, she seemed to have been so spoiled by her parents that she was never able to grow out of it. And that ended up causing her to trip up in the end, as her inability to understand others' feelings led to her downfall within her family. One could say she was a victim of bad parenting since her parents never knew how to raise her properly. But at the age she's at now, she should have worked on fixing her issues a long time ago. So really, she was a victim of her parents' poor care for her, but she became less and less of a victim as she became older and older and would cause issues for more and more people. Anyway, as for my sister-in-law, April, she was able to give birth to a baby girl, and that made Caleb and I officially turn into an uncle and aunt. April made sure to not let Scarlett get anywhere near her baby, which would be impossible for her anyway, since she can no longer find a way to April's new house. Luckily, though, April did say she'd be bringing her baby over to our new house soon, and Caleb and I cannot wait to see how her baby reacts to Paws. But before all that can happen, we need to finish cleaning up our house, since it's been full of moving boxes and all that from when our brother-in-law helped us move in with that moving truck. He even got a small crane, which he used to help get our pool table into the house for us, so that's where his heavy machinery license came into play. Anyway, after April did end up telling Scarlett about her baby and that she would never be allowed to see her, Scarlett was informed she needed to be put into a retirement home since she didn't have enough money anymore for a place of her own. Of course, the place is still going to cost some money over time, but Caleb agreed to use some of the money from his sold house to pay for her stay. But he said he would only do so if we got her a place that was very far away from where we're living now. With the way she acts all entitled and brash, I'm sure she won't be making any friends in that retirement home and will most definitely be alone for the rest of her life. And what the staff there have said so far is that she'll stay in her room all day just laying in bed and crying. So, there we go.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
sis. Is now a good time to talk? Hello, Tiffany. It's not like you to message me. Is everything okay? I heard you quit your job at Globex Corporation. Is it true? Why would you quit such a good company? They're like one of the most famous companies there is. I don't get it. Huh? Sure, I quit, but that was 5 years ago, Tiff. How come you're asking me about this now? So, basically, what you're saying is you're an unemployed NEET right now? No. Why would you think that? I'm working. A lot, actually. Huh? Wait, what? I'm pretty sure I told everyone last time our families met, but Globex Corporation didn't have any issues with its employees having secondary jobs. So I worked as a designer on the side. Over the years, my design work came to occupy more and more of my time, and I got orders from more and more clients. Eventually, I was making enough money that I figured I could make the same as or more than my salary at Globex if I quit and went full-time with the design stuff. So that's exactly what I did. I started up my own company and now work full-time as a designer. Wow, you work as a designer? What kind of stuff do you make? Oh, you wouldn't happen to make welcome signs for weddings, would you? How about wedding invite letters? You know, that kind of thing? Oh, wait a sec, Tiff. Listen, I can make those things, and if you're going to ask me to make them for you, I can absolutely do it, but you should know it'll cost money. Is that okay with you? What the heck? You'd ask for money from your own family? Even though the stuff we need is going to be used for your own little brother's wedding, I'm your sister-in-law, Helen. Don't you think you're being a little stingy and small-minded here? Or is it just that things aren't going well with work and you're so broke you have no choice but to charge me? My brother warned me you might reach out, and he said that if you make any attempt to make me work for free to make things for the wedding, that I'm to refuse firmly. Funnily enough, he said that if you offer to pay for it, I should refuse even more insistently. Wait, what the hell? Kelvin said those things to you? Oh, God, why is he like this? He's a great guy most of the time, but whenever we discuss anything to do with the wedding, he becomes the stingiest guy on earth. He told me how you have a habit of trying to buy exorbitantly expensive add-ons for the wedding whenever you have free reign over the credit card. So much so that he had to limit your access. In his words, if we go over budget on this wedding, it'll have an impact on our lives for years down the line. Apparently, your spending got so out of hand, he felt the need to anticipate whatever crazy purchase you might attempt to make next in order to come up with preventative and/or damage control measures. Wow, are you kidding me? He said all that? Oh my God, he's such a snake. You only get married once, Doesn't a girl deserve to enjoy the most special day of her life with no regrets? It's not fair. Why are you telling me this? If you have a problem with it, talk to Kelvin. You guys' attitudes towards this are so different that even I'm worried. You're pretty much day and night when it comes to your views on money and budgeting. Yeah, whatever. I don't need a lecture from you. I don't need your concern either, lady. You're a broke, single loser, and your ties to this family are so weak you barely even deserve to be called a part of it. No man would ever want you. You'll never get married, and you should keep your mean comments to yourself. Excuse me? Bye.
Helen, you got a minute? Are you really sure it's okay for me to have this $10,000 for the wedding?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have sent it otherwise, silly.
But Helen, seriously? Man, I don't even know where to begin with how uncomfortable this makes me.
The wedding costs, you're way over the budget you planned after you got engaged, right? You helped me out a bunch back when I started my company with things like introductions to potential employees, recommendations on accounting software, corporate registration procedures. I could go on. What I'm trying to say here, Kelvin, is that this is my way of saying thanks for everything you did for me.
I see. I can't describe how grateful I am for this, sis. Thanks so much. To be honest, it's a huge help. I'll use it wisely. I promise.
Hey, what the hell is this piece of junk, Helen? You've got some explaining to do. The coffee machine you gave us as a wedding gift, I just Googled it, and it apparently only costs $500. You frickin' tightwad. I know you're hardly a high roller, but I at least thought you made more money than that. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was surprised at first when my brother told me you gave us that $10,000, but then, when I actually stopped to think about it, I realized there's no way a broke loser like you could be capable of getting that much money together.
I know. I bet this was easy money you got from lucking out somehow, wasn't it? So go on. How'd you win it? A lottery ticket? A raffle? Gambling? Personally, my money's on a lottery ticket. I know you couldn't have come up with it yourself because you're dumb, useless, and don't have a single talent. Yep, I knew it. You're just a broke loser like I always thought. I can't believe you're actually so pathetic. You tried to prove you were better than me by donating $10,000 to the wedding fund. This is the most hilarious, tragic attempt at flexing at someone I've ever seen. Oh man, my sides hurt. Oh, I know. I just had a flash of genius. This is the perfect opportunity to add a little surprise to the banquet later on. Just for you. Get excited, girl. Woohoo! I did it! During the very last moments of the banquet, I finally managed to expose you as the pathetic, broke loser that you are. Now the whole world knows the truth. I don't know why my mom started panicking and dragging me out of the banquet hall all of a sudden, but I gotta say, that felt great. I feel so refreshed. Tiffany, what on earth do you think you're playing at? Why would you do something like that on such an important day? I can't make any sense of it at all. Just to make sure you don't forget, I'll write down everything I just said to the guests here, okay? You gave us $10,000 to help out with the wedding fund. With easy money you won on the lottery? Don't act self-important. That's nothing. If you didn't like me making that announcement on the loudspeakers in front of everyone at the wedding, then I suggest you do it properly next time and give me $10,000 you earned yourself. You couldn't even afford a proper wedding gift. I'm ashamed to call you my sister-in-law. You really should make more of an effort on fixing your mental health, you know? Because jealousy is disgusting, and no one likes jealous people. You're so broke, and everyone in this family hates you so much. It's actually painful to remember you exist. You are so never finding a husband. If you don't like being told the cold, hard truth, you need to give me another $500 on top of the $500 coffee machine you gave us pronto. Oh, and one more thing. Please do your best to understand what a useless moron you are, even if it means reading over my messages again. I really am trying to help you here. Fine. I want my $10,000 back. What? I'm afraid that ain't gonna happen, girl. Hang on. No way. Were you gonna try and give me my $500 out of the $10,000? What a tightwad. I do wish you at least wouldn't try and pretend you put that $10,000 together yourself, because, there's literally no way that's possible for someone as broke as you. Kelvin, have you seen the series of message screenshots I just sent you?
Yep. Oh my God. Helen, it looks like what you did for Tiff out of kindness and consideration totally backfired. Jeez, I can't believe she did that. I mean, seriously, easy money from winning on a lottery ticket. What the hell is going on in that head of hers?
It was her idea then. To be honest, I didn't think you'd say anything like that.
Of course I wouldn't. All I did was tell her plain and simple. My sister decided to help out by giving us the $10K we went over budget for on the wedding. Not only that, but for some inexplicable reason, she seems to think you're poor. I don't get it. I literally have no idea why she thinks that. Do you? I'm pretty sure I brought up the success of your business and your position in the business world on a few occasions during conversation with her before.
No, beats me too. I never go into detail, but I have told her about my work on a few occasions in the past. She might not know the extent of my earnings, but at the very least, she has no reason to think I'm broke, as she loves to put it.
God damn it, she couldn't be any wider off the mark if she tried. You don't need this, and you certainly don't deserve it, Helen. I'm sorry. Leave the rest to me. I'll make sure you get your $10K back too. I promise.
Got it. All right, Kelvin. It's in your hands now.
Kelvin! Oh, there you are. Where have you been hiding? And more importantly, where are you right now? Everyone's gonna be waiting if we don't hurry up and get our butts to the after party ASAP. Move, let's go.
The after party is canceled.
What? Why?
Have you still not realized the gravity of what you've done? What you did to my sister at the banquet was unacceptable. How is it possible you're the only one who hasn't realized? My family, your family, the guests, even the freaking waiters, and obviously Helen herself, everyone was so disgusted with you, their jaws practically hit the floor. Do you still not get it?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You insulted my sister.
Huh?
Everything you said in that banquet hall in a despicable attempt to expose Helen was dead wrong. Helen ain't a broke loser. She's the founder and CEO of the fastest growing graphic design company in all of America.
Huh? Say what now?
And far from having no hope of finding a husband, she's currently engaged to Ben Silverstein, the son of the CEO of Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest banks on the planet.
Oh my God. What?
How can you claim to be surprised after all this time? I already told you this stuff.
Wait, really? No way. You can't have. I'd remember.
You plainly don't. Which is why the $10,000 she kindly gave us was most definitely not the prize money from a lottery ticket, and it wasn't something she came into possession of out of luck. She gave us her hard-earned money because she wanted to help.
No, wait. That can't be. Want to know why? Because I saw your sister buying a lottery ticket.
Sure, Helen does buy herself a lottery ticket once per year. Most she's ever won was $20.
No. This can't be. I'm serious, Kelvin. How come I've never seen her with this Silverstein guy, this supposed son of a CEO?
Because he's away on business in Europe. He plans on coming back to America to marry Helen next year.
No way. You mean your sister Helen was actually super amazing all along?
I already told you all this. I already knew you had a few strange ideas about the world, a slight tendency to make weird assumptions, and a habit of not paying attention to anyone when they spoke to you, but you've gone too far this time. I've had it with you. What the hell is your problem with my sister?
Kelvin, please hear me out. It makes sense, I swear. Think about it. Why the hell would anyone who works for Globex Corporation, one of the most prestigious companies in the world, quit to move back in with their parents?
She quit her job to prepare for starting up her own company, you idiot. And she didn't move back in with our parents. My mom and dad moved into the house she had built for them all.
What? You mean that 3-floor terraced house with a hot tub and mountain views belongs to your sister?
Yeah, for the millionth time, I already told you this.
Wait a sec. Oh my God. If it's not your parents' house, does that mean you won't inherit it one day?
Excuse me? Inherit?
I was so excited to be able to live in that house when your parents died. Ugh!
Jesus, Tiffany, you're messed up in the head. You seriously never listen to a word I say, do you?
Oh my God.
I was going to make my next decision based on how you reacted to me confronting you about what you did in the wedding, but I knew it. This is hopeless.
Wait, what? Kelvin?
I want a divorce.
Why?
Do I have to explain that too? Are you just conveniently ignoring the fact that you insulted my sister at our wedding in front of the whole banquet hall? After you just admitted to waiting for my parents to die so you could live in their house?
But I didn't think I was insulting her. In my mind, all I was doing was telling the truth.
Well, this is what you get for ignoring everything I tell you. Actions have consequences, Tiffany, and my patience has reached its limit. Want to know what the worst thing is? In spite of everything you've done, in spite of all the hurt, drama, and upset you've caused, you haven't uttered so much as a single word of apology. That's what swung my decision. That's what sealed your fate.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
I'm done speaking to you. Besides, we don't even have time for this right now. I have to go and explain the situation to everyone waiting for us at the after party who still think we're married.
Hey, wait! You don't have my consent for the divorce, you know.
Do you want to embarrass me even more than you already have?
Huh?
My parents had to explain to everyone everything you said about my sister was a lie after my mom dragged you out of the hall. Those who already knew Helen is a successful businesswoman were appalled with you right then and there, as soon as you started speaking. But those who didn't, and who may have actually believed the crap you spewed about her, were left looking meek and embarrassed. I even had some guy come up to me and ask, "Hey buddy, are you sure marrying Helen is the right thing to do?" Before my parents took the mic, explained everything, and set the record straight.
That's awful.
Yep, and it was entirely your fault. Nothing you say or do could possibly change my mind at this point. I've lost all faith in you, and it's never coming back. We'll be continuing this conversation through my lawyer.
What the heck? heck, Kelvin? Why would you hire a lawyer? Talk about overreacting. Pff.
If you think a lawyer's overreacting after what you did, this is more hopeless than I thought.
But why?
This will go on forever unless we call it a day here. Go home with your parents. I never want to see you again.
Wait, please.
Goodbye, Tiffany.
Me and Kelvin were concerned Tiffany might launch an assault on our parents' house after that, but thankfully, our fears never came true, the divorce was finalized, and everything more or less settled down. Or so we thought. Because after that, Tiffany showed up in the place we least expected it. Believe it or not, she began stalking the son of the CEO of Goldman Snacks, a famous donut chain. It would appear she was trying to kill two birds with one stone. In stealing my fiancé, she could exact her revenge on me while simultaneously marrying into wealth beyond her wildest dreams. Unfortunately for her, my fiancé is the son of the CEO of Goldman Blacks, a bank. Not only that, but he's away on work business in Europe. In a hilarious irony, her inability to pay attention to anything anyone tells her resulted in her being arrested and forced to pay copious amounts of compensation for accidentally stalking a complete stranger. Oh, and let's not forget the compensation she already owes my brother for the absurd stunt she pulled at their wedding. Shortly after her arrest, Tiffany was disowned by her parents, but not before her dad got her a job at a friend's factory in a final act of compassion. Probably in the hope that she'd use it as an opportunity to turn her life around. Rumor has it her new boss is as strict as they come, so she'll have no choice but to be on her best behavior at all times from now on. As for me, I'm just enjoying my newly found peace and quiet. What a relief that she's gone. I don't need toxic people in my life, and neither do you folks.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.